What is up, guys? Matthew here, and welcome back to our FIFA 21 career mode here with the mighty Boro. And today we are here with only 2 games in today's episode. If you remember, we are leaving the League Cup final to its own individual, unedited, full coverage episode, which will be in the next one. So we've only got 2 games in between then, which is West Brom and Arsenal in the Premier League. But we also have something just as important as a game in itself, really, in this episode, and that is deadline day. Because, of course, spoiler alert, if you've not checked out the last episode, please do if you haven't already. We were dropped with the big blow that Manchester United, from absolutely nowhere, recalled Jesse Lingard, who was a big part of our squad in terms of being cover across the front three, really. He predominantly was back up to Roberts and/or Draxler. Sometimes at some points was the starting left winger over Draxler. And with his departure, it's left us unbelievably short, as we now don't have a backup cam. Draxler might have to become a backup cam, and then we might have to bring in Murphy on the left, but then we have no cover for either wing other than the young lad Nathan Wills, who is good and is coming along extremely well, but I don't think is good enough quite for that. And of course, with the season we're having, we're not wanting to take any chances with where we're at the moment, with, of course, a huge final coming up and us currently sitting second in the Premier League. So, end of the last episode, I asked you guys if you could come up with any ideas regarding players to scout, players who we could sort of an emergency loan, hopefully, to the end of the season, and there were some really, really good comments. I think it might have been Josh said, just basically go back for Yannick Bolasie. Go back with the tail between our legs, basically. Beg him to come back, but we need someone to loan for 6 months. Get us to the end of the season. We don't have the funds to buy anybody, so we're gonna have to hope that one of these Premier League teams will probably let us have one of their wingers / cams for the rest of the season. And there's a few I've come up with. There's not that many, to be fair, who are scouted, who we have enough data on. We still have Dean Garner on there, whether West Brom would let us loan one of their best assets when they're probably desperately in need of him. He's got to be one of their first team players. They probably won't let us loan him. That's impossible. Giovanni Reina has popped up for the 3rd time. Obviously, we've tried a loan and a loan to buy. He's turned us down both times, despite positive talks with Dortmund. But we are now second in the Premier League, so will that possibly tempt him a 3rd time? I've had James Rodriguez on there for a while. I don't think I'll be going in to try and loan him. I know one of you mentioned Emile Smith-Rowe. Fantastic shout. He can play as a cam or on the right. So that could free up maybe Jacob Murphy to cover the left instead, but he looks very, very good. Again, though, it's whether Arsenal would let us loan one of their best young players who might be breaking his way into the team. We have Joe Willock, who has been on the scout list for quite a while now, I would say. Matheus Pereira, he's moved to a new team. I did put Gareth Bale on there. I thought 33, give him 6 months at the Boro, wouldn't that be awesome? Unfortunately, he is within the last 6 months of his contract with Madrid, so the earliest he could join us would be at the end of the season, so that's not going to happen. One I really favoured was Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. I think that's rather realistic, to be fair, and his potential and his rating is extremely good. God knows where he'll be at this point in the career mode, so he's one I'm favouring. I also stuck Pedro Neto on that. I can't see Wolves doing that, and Pulisic for the absolute lols. So we need to basically try and pick the best, the best option, really, that go in for a couple of these players, and then it gives us a bit of time, with deadline day being tomorrow, to hopefully find out if they're going to accept or not. So the 3 I'm edging towards is giving Giovanni Reina a 3rd time lucky, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Harvey Elliott. Question is, who do we go in for first? We will start at the top, and that is Giovanni Reina. He's younger, higher rated, and we know we can agree quite easily with Dortmund regarding his very, very low wages. It's all depending on if the player will say yes, third time lucky. There's every chance he won't. He's let us down twice before, after all. But the third time, the Dortmund manager, whose job I wouldn't mind, is back in our office. Here we are again. This time we will only be wanting a 6-month loan though, to see where we're at come the new season. So it's just going to be a short-term loan. The other loans we've offered them before have been full 1-year loans, so they could turn down this and say, if you want him, we're going to have him for a season. But no, they're happy with a short-term deal. And maybe Reina himself would be happy with a short-term deal. Maybe he doesn't want to leave Dortmund for a full calendar year. Maybe he does want to only leave, if he is going to leave, for a very brief period. But it's the stature of our club which obviously is probably causing him the doubts in terms of his wage split. I will try 50-50. I mean, his wages are incredibly cheap anyway, so as we've seen before, I think 60-40 might have been what we agreed on before. Oh, but they've agreed 50-50 this time around. So there we go. So it's now a case of waiting for Giovanni Reina to say yes or to say no. I'm not going to go in for any of the other two because I don't want to then end up having two players accept a loan deal instead of just the one. So we need to hope, with deadline day being tomorrow, that Giovanni Reina gets back to us quickly. I'd rather him answer a no quickly rather than leave it until last minute. So we have 2 emails. And one is Nathan Wills. We have basically got rid of the loan with him as the only options that were coming in were loan to buy. So he now wants to build a future and not sit on the bench. We'll see. And well, there we go. Third time lucky, Giovanni Reina has turned us down. Can't say I'm surprised, but I'm glad we've had an answer before it's too late. So second one then. Emil Smith-Rowe is a good shout. Let's see what we know. At least we know enough about him as a player. He's quick, good balance, stamina's not too great, his vision is okay. Ball control, dribbling, finishing isn't bad. That's what we'll sort of need with the way we play. He's a technical dribbler, not bad, 22. Harvey Elliott, we don't know much about him. He has good acceleration, good agility, good balance, good dribbling, and he's a flair player. That's all we really know about him. Harvey Elliott can play as a right winger, however, Smith-Rowe can play as a cam as well. So I've got a wedge towards Emil Smith-Rowe because at the end of the day we do want to keep Draxler as a starter. We just need someone to come on for Robert. So let's see. They could say no, Arsenal. But no, there is. They've accepted our approach to loan him, which is a good start. So, we're not interested in buying him. We just need someone to help cover us until the very end of the season. So we'll again go for the short-term option. And Arsenal's rep, it's not Mikel Arteta, it's Arsenal's representative. Looks a little bit like Arteta. He's happy with that. So wages, I think he's on around £50,000 a week, something like that, which ain't bad for a 22-year-old. But again, should easily be able to afford that. We'll go with a 50-50 split, which is 26,000 each. I think in our position, we should never really drop below 50%. I think the other team would sort of think we're taking the mickey. But there we go. 50-50 is agreed with Arsenal. So once again, it's down to the player. Will Emile Smith-Rowe accept a loan deal to come to the Boro? We'll have to wait and see. What I will do, as I always do, is I'll flip through the current transfer dealings with all the Premier League clubs, so we know exactly where we're at. I can see there's quite a few big moves kicking about in the Premier League. So Arsenal, not much to really say there. They've sold Reece Nelson. Villa have brought in a couple of players I've never heard of. Brighton have sold 2 players I don't know of. Burnley have signed someone on a free, surprise. Sold Ben Mee on a free as well, which is a shock. He'd have been a good signing. Chelsea, surprisingly, haven't bought much, but they've sold N'Golo Kante to Dortmund, of course, for 62 million. Palace, I think, have signed, that might be Nathan Redmond. They've spent big, and they've also got rid of Villa and Milivojevic. Everton have signed Mason Holgate. I thought he was already a player. They must have signed him back. And got rid of Andre Gomes by the looks of it. Fulham have signed Enes Hadji. Great signing. And that might be Nelson from Arsenal. What a flipping signing that is. And Leicester have got rid of their top goal scorer and replaced him with Sergio flipping Aguero. What a signing that is. Leicester have signed Aguero and Pablo Gazzaniga. That's some business right there. But the question is, who's going to be City's striker? Liverpool have signed a Mobile. Cool, they've spent big and got rid of Shaqiri and someone else. City have signed Diop. I'm guessing that might be West Ham's Diop. And of course got rid of Aguero. That's a shocker. United have signed Richarlison from Inter Milan for 105 million. Wow. We had a quiet one. Newcastle have done nothing. They've sold Muto. Sheffield United have brought in Arbeloa. Southampton have signed Alvaro for free and got rid of Redmond. Tottenham have signed Decore and Lewandowski. Holy crap. Holy moly. What an addition to the Premier League that is. Is Lewandowski going to really play second fiddle at Harry Kane? Wow. Tottenham, they signed some. There it is. They signed some huge players in this career mode, I've got to say. West Brom have done absolutely nothing. West Ham have sold someone. And Wolves have signed 2 people. There we go. Well, gotta love transfers on FIFA. They really are awesome. Anyway, keep our eyes peeled. So 1 hour down, still no word from Emile Smith-Rowe. We now have 2 emails. Is it going to be good news? Is it going to be bad news? And it's good news! Emile Smith-Rowe has accepted a short loan to the club, which means the cover for Lingard is done. Thank you, Arsenal. And Emile Smith-Rowe for joining us. We also have a transfer for Dijksteel. We've already rejected one. We will reject that one. And there we go then. So Emile Smith-Rowe comes in and fills the gap that was left by Lingard. Which means we do have cover in and around them positions, which is good news. And there he is, Emile Smith-Rowe, on loan for the rest of the season. Cool. So he'll be covering at the right wing position and cam, which means we can leave Draxler on the left. And from what I remember of Jacob Murphy, yeah, he can play either side, which is really useful. So we can bring on Murphy for Draxler. So we're covered, which is a relief. And we will continue to skip through just to ensure nothing else drastic happens. No £150 million offer for Patrick Roberts. Bettinelli is being chased again by Genoa this time. We'll reject that. We won't be able to bring in a really good keeper with only 2-point-something million. And it looks like, I say we were going to have a quiet one. Another email has come in with 3 hours to go. Offer for Paddy McNair. Again, good offer, but we'll need him. If these offers come in the summer, we would certainly listen. but it would take something drastic to turn our heads. And it looks like that is it for transfer deadline day. So we have done the business necessary, and I feel like we are still in a good enough position to continue on. Obviously, we're going to have to get to know Smith Rowe as a player. We're going to have to get used to his strengths, his weaknesses, but there is a body in there, which is the most important thing. So, awesome. We will now move on and get the 2 games in this episode played, and we will now head to West Brom away from home. So, quick note, obviously there are a couple of players whose contracts we haven't bothered to renew with 6 months left. One of them is Stojanovic, backup goalkeeper. The plan is to hopefully, with good funds, make Bettinelli our backup keeper. Because I'd like to keep him at the squad, Bettinelli. You know, he might not be happy, but I'd like to keep him. He's been great for us. And the current backup goalkeeper can leave. So Stojanovic is agreeing a deal maybe with Velez Sarsfield. We're not going to stand in the way of that. So then the team for the West Brom game, no major changes to be fair. Dale Fry, he's unbelievably unfit at the moment. I don't know why he's so far behind everybody else, but there's no chance of him starting. So the usual reshuffle of Tanganga stepping into the centre of defence and Jed Spence covering on the right is what we'll go with. The rest of the team stays the same.
And he saw the situation developing.
Well won that by Draxler on the left-hand side. West Brom are always a team who give us a difficult game, as I often say. So we're not going to be expecting an easy ride here, although Spence already on the overlap, crosses in. Too close to the goalkeeper. West Brom always are a tough team to play. They're currently fighting for their lives, and they're not going to help themselves here. Roberts beat the defender. Oh, and we've chipped the keeper in off the post. It was a last-second decision to press L1 and chip the keeper just because of how quickly he was coming out, but there was poor ball out. Great quick play. This little move there from Roberts, and well, it doesn't look like we chipped the keeper from the animation, probably because we decided to do it last second, but we just dink it over Sam Johnston and it squeezes in off the post. That would have been embarrassing if that didn't go in. Just saw him off his line last second, went for the dink. Wasn't exactly how I executed it, but it went in. And what a start we've had. Perfect. 7 minutes is all it's taken for us to get in front. Mossie's press has forced them backwards. Here's Aracho.
Less than convincing defending.
Mossie's not giving this up. He's chasing him all the way. They do finally lay it off, but then walk straight in to Gibbo. Oh, what a tackle that is though from Zaracho, catching out Bellingham before he can get into that top gear. Gibbs. Harper.
Gibbs now.
What's he doing his best to protect the back four? Gets beaten there though. Good ball. Oh, and the header is down and would have been on target. But Dominguez headed it so far into the ground that even from 5 yards, it managed to bounce and clear the bar.
How many more chances there'll be to get back into this game?
It's a good job as well, because that would have been on target, and I don't think Bettinelli would have gotten to it. Bellingham. He's in a tough midfield battle today.
Origi.
Roberts to Origi. Should have maybe looked to give it back to Roberts. Origi has managed to get away from the defender, and that shot might have needed blocking.
As they look for more.
Yeah, I think it probably did need blocking. Draxler.
Played into the centre of the
Corner comes in. Origi's header is up.
and he's done
Oh,
well
and
to tip it
almost.
over the bar.
Almost looping into the far corner. Sam Johnston just got enough on that. It was just an awkward one, really. There was a man on the line. He vacated the line and left it up to his goalkeeper.
Over it comes.
This time we look for Gibbo, and his header's
And he
wide.
sets it wide of the post.
Well, it's quite easy to head that one over.
Two chances.
This time he just gets his angle.
Oh, that is close. That is closer than it looked.
Well, he's been kicking and heading every ball in that technical area. They've been good up to now, but it's still fine margins.
A Boro corner and a chance for them to build on their lead.
Well, I have no idea what's just happened. That is the funniest glitch I've ever seen. They had a throw-in in our corner, and their player has somehow threw it all the way up the other end of the pitch and given us a corner. And, well, they've not got our men marked, so we're going to take this quickly. Oh, and we've almost scored from it.
Situation.
Tanganga with a header there.
Another corner it is.
As, well, that glitch was very strange, and we almost benefited from it. Great header from Tanganga. We've had joy from all the corners so far. We've got our head on the end of every single one of them.
Upper. And the referee has deemed that an additional 4 minutes are in order.
So a whole 4 minutes
Rafael Leao.
of added time at the end of this one. Can West Brom get back into it? Our defence is being dragged all over the place. We need someone to come across.
Well, the keeper makes
And in the end,
push well away from danger.
forced into a near post effort that Bettinelli thankfully was equal to.
But they
Well,
take
it's been
anything
far
for
from a good performance from us. The possession is 70% to 30 to West Brom.
Spence.
We have not had much of the ball in this game at all,
Roberts.
but we've got the important goal that counts as Origi now
Right moment for that final.
plays to Bellingham, who does get half a yard
Keeper
and
with that effort.
tries to see if he can bend one into the corner there, but it was
Fosu Mensah.
matched by the goalkeeper.
Matias Zarracho. The pass could
Oh,
do
what a
damage.
ball that is. Bettinelli can't come out as well, and they're in here, and West Brom equalise.
Superb entertainment.
One through ball, and he was in behind, and it was as simple as that.
Wow.
I mean, what a through ball that is,
You don't need a ton.
and the defenders aren't going to catch him. We've just got to bring the keeper out and hope he can get there, but
Well, let's take another look at that goal, shall we?
Bettinelli wasn't going to get near him, neither were the centre-backs, and, well, never conceded a goal like that before.
Well, we all saw that equaliser coming, Derek, didn't we? And so did he.
What a through ball, and what a finish, almost took the net off. And that's, I've got to admit, no more than what West Brom deserve.
So, a level contest. 1-1.
Belter.
Hopeful ball forward, which Spence is equal to, and we need to get going here. We need something to just inject us
Hudson-Odoi.
and just get us into a bit of life here,
Short
because we
passing.
just cannot find that final ball. And, well, we've been
Dominguez.
so poor
Well, that's one for them to
in the final third, and once again it's route one from West Brom. Defenders
Opportunity, but
are struggling,
anything you've got to say.
and luckily that time we get back in time, and, well, there's
Take it
another
away.
pathetic ball forward, giving the ball straight back to West Brom. Forward.
Harper.
Here come West Brom.
Dominguez.
They've absolutely battered us. They've absolutely battered us, and it's not been like when we played Chelsea and it's been backs against the wall sort of stuff. We've just been shocking in possession. Really bad, and that was an over-the-top through ball to try and get Hudson-Odoi into play, and we're just not doing it in this game.
Rafael Leao.
It's been one of the worst games I've seen us play from an attacking point of view. And the question is, are West Brom going to punish us for it? What a save from Bettinelli.
Well, he's done really well with his angles there. Good reaction.
A potential unbeaten run saving save right there. Because if West Brom score a second here, I cannot see us getting back into this game. It's been one of the worst performances for a long time, which is a surprise considering we scored after 7 minutes.
To go to the bench at this stage of the game.
We did make the substitution on 60 minutes, but it took 18 minutes for the ball to go out to play. We finally bring on Danny Ings and put Roberts out wide, so it's a 4-2-2-2 in hope that we can somehow get some form of attacking going as Roberts almost touches it in towards our own goal. But now, counter-attack.
Spence.
No, once again, not good enough. Jed Spence walking into a blue and white shirt. And I'm worried. The unbeaten run might be coming to an end here, guys, because we look absolutely all over the place. Zaracho. Normally the man you'd bet on getting the goal. Gibbo's made 2 incredible interceptions. But once again,
well, the host dominating possession.
The passing
really has been impressive.
Has been embarrassing.
Be brave now in order to go and win this
72% possession for West Brom.
Callum Robinson.
Unbelievable.
A super tackle and they've won possession.
Hudson-Odoi now. Let's just try and keep the ball down. I mean, there's absolutely no options for us.
All even, but will it stay that way?
Spence running in field. Ings forced backwards again from this resolute West Brom defence. There's absolutely no options for him. And, well, that sums it up. Absolutely shocking.
Time it is.
Just no options. And we just boot the ball out.
Gibbs. And we are going to have 2 additional minutes.
Well, 2 minutes added on. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd be grateful that we come away with this from this game with a point. In all honesty.
Well, they're certainly thinking about it.
But it would be typical of us this season to come away with something more. Origi clings onto that.
And Bellingham.
Bellingham's offside. Oh, wow. Yeah, sums it up. An off day is an understatement. And I am relieved that we've come away from West Brom with a point, because after the 7th minute, that was one of the worst performances I've seen.
Both teams really felt as if they could go and win it.
Well, I don't know what it is about West Brom. Just can't play against them. And we're starting to drop a couple of points. Bettinelli's happy with the games we're giving him. Great. McNair. Great. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. But yeah, I mean, we are obviously, working from what were unbelievably high standards. But apart from the Wolves game, I say we've drew one. We drew against City. We drew against Chelsea. It's been sort of win, draw, win, draw, win, draw. It's still not bad, but I mean, the teams around us are so good. Yeah, it's one draw is fatal in terms of where you are in the league. So Liverpool jump us then, and we finally surrender second place, which we've held for absolutely ages. And Manchester City remain on 66 points. I think they might have dropped points again, actually. Oh, no, they didn't. They beat Everton, so I can't remember what their lead was. But anyway, it's back to 8 points anyway. And And maybe it is Liverpool who will be the team to chase them down. I don't think we've got enough to mount a title challenge. I think we've done exceptionally well to be where we are. Maybe if we're given an actual bloody budget, next season could be the year. We just need to cling on to our place in the top 4, and there's currently a 7-point gap to Leicester. However, that could be brought down with the Sunday fixtures. And it doesn't look like it has been. We'll fast forward again because Tottenham still have a game in hand. Not sure when they'll be playing that. But Stojanovic has left. Thank you very much, Stojanovic. And Leicester must have lost. So they've not gained on us at all, which gives me a little bit more breathing room. So with 12 games to go, the gap is 6 points to 5th. It's going to be tight. And it doesn't get any easier because next up, we'll go away to a team who, we've had many big battles with in the career mode so far, and that is Arsenal. So then, for the Arsenal game, 2 changes. Tanganga is back on the right with Dale Fry, now fully fit to join Gibbo back in the centre of defence. I have decided to give Jacob Murphy a start. He's not started that many games, so I thought why not throw him in as Draxler's not done too much in the last couple of games to warrant a place in the starting lineup. Hopefully, this could maybe give him a bit of a kick up the bum to maybe pick up his form a little bit. But the rest of the team is unchanged as we now head to a team who, well, another one who will be hoping to chase us down for a place in the top 4.
Really good high press.
Well, Jacob Murphy's done unbelievably well to intercept that. Jude Bellingham. Great movement from Bellingham. Oh, and Roberts is unbelievably close with the finish. The footwork from Bellingham was outstanding. It was a tight angle. Oh, and wow, it was a save.
Well, that was
what a save from the keeper. Incredible save by Leno, as I honestly thought that was just wide. Corner. Hudson-Odoi Origi! And the header is too powerful for the keeper. And like in the last game, we strike early. And Origi's header was just too hot to handle.
Well, here's another look at it. It's a good delivery from the corner, and what a great finish.
Corner in from Hudson-Odoi, and well, the keeper's got to do better than that.
Fantastic goal.
He's just pulled off one unbelievable save and then fluffed his next one. Leno will be disappointed with that. But we don't care, because the one thing we desperately needed after the West Brom game was to get off to a good start in this one. And we've done exactly that with Origi. Marcy tackling Muniain, but his pass out was meant for Hudson-Odoi there, not back to Marcy. Souček. Oh, and they're in behind. He were poor too, and Bettinelli makes himself big. It's not quite cleared yet, though. Maitland-Niles now as Bettinelli has to stagger back into his goal. And Arsenal do get a corner. Good anticipation from the goalkeeper. Stood up well. So Muniain looking to play this shot. Forced into the long corner. It might be a good choice, as it was a good corner, a good header, but not powerful enough to beat the goalkeeper as Bettinelli makes another save. Well, Aubameyang can't get past Gibbo, but Morsi's pass is intercepted straight away. Tanganga's done well up against Muniain so far. Plays it infield to Souček, who might actually be a match for Morsi in midfield. Trying to cleverly pass it round us, Arsenal, but well, the cross was blocked by Morsi's arm, and that's a free kick to Arsenal. So Aubameyang. Indirect free kick, but he's on it. Oh, and they've scored from it! I'm not sure if it's Porto who's got free from his man. One of the smallest people in the box. That's a disappointment. To head into the near post.
Well, here's the replay. It's a really dangerous ball.
Who was marking him?
And that's a good header. Eye on the ball.
Oh, wow.
It's a lovely finish.
Gibbo, man.
Well,
For all your good tackling and blocking, you cannot. When you're marking a guy smaller than you like that, let him have a free header.
Well, he's furious, and why not? They've thrown this lead away.
And we've been relatively comfortable defensively in this game, but we've conceded a really cheap goal there. Really cheap goal.
So, a level contest.
Oh, Aubameyang with a great ball over, and here's Saka fresh legs for Tanganga to
Suchek.
try and deal with on the left.
Now find themselves in potentially a dangerous position.
Saka,
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Ooh, and
Nullify the opposition.
huge interception there as our defence does just enough once again.
Draxler.
Draxler up against Maitland-Niles, has to use his strength, which he does really well. Roberts. Draxler, lovely turn from Julian Draxler, and the keeper saves. Great bit of quality from him. That's what we brought him on for, and it almost paid off.
In the centre.
Hudson-Odoi, best spell of the game for us since the goal.
Deflected behind. Corner.
And we get a corner.
Just 10 minutes to go.
Coulson wins a 50-50. Bellingham waiting for some movement in front of him. Roberts is there. Oh, and the ball is just out of his reach.
Konrad Leimer.
And, well, what a ball that is over the top here. Coulson's going to need all of his pace to get there. Porto keeps it in. What a ball this is. Oh, and Saka heads it in at the back post.
Late drama.
And Arsenal may have nicked all 3 points.
There's another chance, and there it is, back of the net.
It come from one long punt. They kept it in. And what a ball.
Into the danger area that was, and then it's a good headed.
But Saka should not be scoring with a header from that angle.
Another look at that goal, shall we?
Well, I don't know how he squeezed that in from there. One of the smallest players on the pitch. Heads another goal in. And we've got 7 minutes to keep this unbeaten run intact. Is it coming to an end?
Embers. Will it
So we've got Ings on as well. We've took a central midfielder off.
inside the final 5 minutes?
It's do or die for us now if we want to keep our unbelievable unbeaten run going. It's a run that's stretched from September, the very beginning of the season.
They have such a delicate lead. Will they rue those missed chances?
Oh, and well, this just sums up. It just really sums up the way we're playing at the moment.
And taking it away.
Gibbo blocks that with his hand, and I think it's a good job he did. I don't know what's going on with us last 2 games. Going forward, we've just lost something. We're not looking as sharp and as quick and as clever going forward. And the goals we've conceded haven't been great either. And, well, Arsenal might be about to add even more.
If they can score again from this corner.
Bertinelli keeps the score at 2. And the ball's at the wrong end, as far as we're concerned. And they could make absolutely sure with this. 90 minutes are up. 6 will be added. Huge chunk of stoppage time as Saka. Well, no surprise what Arsenal are going to be doing here. Porto. Hudson-Odoi nicks it. And we need all of Hudson-Odoi's pace here to just get us up the pitch. Draxler. Origi. Is he onside? Yes, he is. But there's red shirts all over. Tries to knock it up to Draxler. And what a save. Leno keeps them in it. Draxler. That could be the moment. That could be the moment. Roberts then. Corner.
Here comes the corner.
Ings! And it's wide.
Well, just look at him. He thinks it's in. Just wide.
I thought free header. That's bottom corner. But it's wide. And I think you always get one last chance, and I think we've just had ours right there. It would be Arsenal, wouldn't it? It would be Arsenal. We win the header, but there's no one in midfield. Arsenal are edging towards ending an unbeaten run for us that has lasted 18, 19 games. The ball is in the Arsenal corner, and that is it. Our first defeat since September.
I'm sure they'll feel they deserved at least a point from that. It's obviously very disappointing to concede in the
And the unbelievable unbeaten run finally comes to an end.
Well, his performance in this particular game will have impressed many people, Lee.
Well, it couldn't last forever. Absolutely right. Well, it was always going to end, wasn't it? And just the way we played against West Brom, the warning signs were there. I think against a team with more quality, we would have lost that game. But we went to so many grounds this season. I mean, you think of the Chelsea game, we clung on. We clung on. I'm going to be brutal about the defending. It wasn't good enough. Yeah, games against Chelsea, we clung on for a draw. Deserved to probably get beat there. United battered us apart from a 10-minute period when we scored twice, won that game. We've done incredibly well to keep this unbeaten run going. But finally, we've lost a game in the league. And in all competitions, you look back at the calendar, that United game there on the 18th of September was the last defeat. We've went unbeaten in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 Premier League games unbeaten. And if you add, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cup games in between, that's an unbeaten streak of 26 games in all competitions, 20 games in the Premier League. We should be proud, I'd say, of the run we've been on. And I just hope that this is a blip and the wheels don't completely come off. So then we remain in third. We are actually in danger of being caught by Tottenham. We were second not so long ago. We might be down to fourth. Let's see what happens in, I'm guessing, their weekend fixture. They have a game in hand as well, regardless of what happens. So Tottenham, they're up to 27. Have they played both of their games in hand? They drew against Palace. So, well, I might have got that wrong, but Tottenham dropped points. So, we are still ahead of them by 1 point. We've got a 5-point gap over Leicester, sorry. So top four is the goal right now. City won again. They're now 11 points clear of us once more. Forget that. And we are still within touching distance of Liverpool. They lost to West Ham, so who knows what's happening at this moment in time. But the worry is that our first defeat has come on the eve of a cup final. We need to improve on both the West Brom and Arsenal games in that final if we're going to have any chance of winning, because our European goal could be achieved in the next episode with the Carabao Cup final. But once that's done in the next episode, following that, we have another cup game, City again. Oh my days, in the FA Cup. before two league games. That's a big one. Tottenham, that's a huge game, and Fulham in the league. And, well, we're on the brink of the season, coming to an end after that. But as of course I said, the next episode will be dedicated solely to an unedited, full, uncut version of the League Cup final, where we could win our first major trophy of the career mode and achieve our goal of getting Boro back into Europe. So if you're excited for that episode, it is unmissable, then please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you are notified when that video goes live. Do leave comments in the section below of this very video as well. And yeah, the unbeaten run's over. Let's see if we can bounce back and win our first major trophy of the career mode. I'll see you guys in the next one.